Did that fix it? I think it should have, but... Okay, Huh. That's weird. Oh, was that a yes to it fixed? I think Mom just had the microphone muted. I think that's all that happened. Sweet. How's everybody doing today? Oh, pepperoni? Awesome. Oh. Yoink. I'm doing good. I was just chilling here at my uncle's. I was watching a yeah. No, before my mom came, I was just watching another stream by another YouTuber, so... But no, I've been doing good. If not a little bored. There we go. Sorry if you guys hear some buzzing noises. We kind of stopped. The only things that's left is that stuff that I can't help with anymore. So at least for now, we aren't building much. I did help the other day help someone else build a basement, which was fun. Your microphone is muted.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
Oops.
Here's your phone back. See you guys.
Of course. Get a hold of your sister and tell her I'm headed that way. So I must have accidentally hit the microphone because I was driving and only barely watching the stream. So what I was saying is that farmers around here, they really need the rain. The crops are starting to suffer. Brett's got corn in that hasn't sprouted at all. Even though he soaked the corn, it hasn't sprouted at all. So he's really worried about that, but then he's saying what he's gonna do is just soak the corn again and soak more corn and replant, but water the rows first. But he won't water just in general. So I was dropping off his lunches to him, or one of his lunches, and now we're gonna go take Mindy her body armor. So hopefully she will not come home way dehydrated. We'll see. And then we'll go from there. No, he says that they can't pop through the ground if he waters. But they will pop through the ground if the rain waters. I don't comprehend. I will be honest, I completely do not comprehend. I really think what he needs to do is go out and just kind of spray the garden, give it a good spray every couple of days, and go from there. But he thinks that the only way you get corn is you don't water until it's up, and then you water. And you just hope you get enough rain to water it. I don't know how he thinks places get corn that don't have water available during the growing season, or during the early growing season, or what, but that's the way he thinks, so. So, I am not watching as much what foundables are showing up on the screen. I actually have it kind of on the dash through the pop socket thing. And so I have the stream up so I can see what you guys are saying. It's not perfect, but it's better than before. So that's one reason I'm not watching as much, is I'm trying to, and then every time we get near what's he use for compost? His dad brings in every so often when he has extra cow manure from the area, from the place that so he rents out one of his cow area, or one of his areas that he used to keep his own cows in. He now rents it to a friend of his, and when they produce enough that he doesn't need it for his own farming and crops, he brings it over and puts it on our garden and tills it in. And otherwise, Brett burns stuff every so often in the garden. If we get a bunch of wood, or just every fall when there's a bunch of dead plants, he'll pull them out and burn them, so thinking they go into the garden more. You get more nutrients out of it by burning it than by just letting it compost down in. So that's what he uses there. I believe it. In fact, I tried to tell him that, and he's like, nope. I can't grow anything from seed ever, other than corn and peas. And, you just let it go. You put the seed in the ground and leave it until it pops up, and then you start watering it. I don't comprehend, but sometimes it's not worth the argument. I did think of, while I was there at Jade's, of a way that they could do the ability to get to play together easier on the night bus. If they had something that just said at the top what server you were on, then you could just tell people, okay, go to this server, and people could just search for the server. It would still be a lot of opening and closing and opening and closing, but we wouldn't have to rely on someone beaming. And I don't think it would take that much, or as much programming to put that in. Yeah, I agree, Jen. Sometimes it's just not worth the argument, though. Yeah. Exactly. Because if we were able to say that, and at least then people could go looking for night bus number 4. And I think that would be a lot easier programming than some of the other ways that, or some of the other things that have been suggested. So what I'm doing right now is people are in the shop and Mindy needs a drink, so looks like my dad bought a new kill truck. One more there.
Thank you.
I got you that one.
Because it's delicious.
Well, because I wasn't sure if you got a chance to try it.
Yeah,
so.
I found mine.
Okay. Both of those were out of the fridge. I pulled them out of the fridge specifically, so.
Wait, thank you.
Uh-huh. Bye. Now I get to wait because I have a great big semi behind me. I should tell you guys the story of the time my dad went into the driver's license division to take his driving test because he let it expire. So he got too busy and he let it expire, didn't register it, let it expire, and when he tried to renew it, they told him he had to take the whole driving test again because it let it expire. And so he was busy. My dad is always busy. And he had things to do. So he had some stuff to pick up or something. And at the time, the only vehicle he had a trailer hitch on was a 15-passenger van. So, and he needed to pick up some stuff with his trailer. And by trailer, we're talking a trailer the size of like your mobile homes. About that size, that length and width. Because he would take those that were basically, he's been known to take those and just make sure the bottom's good and just have the frame, not like the whole house, just the frame, the frame. Keep the frame, get rid of everything else, put in a floor for the trailer so you could drive cars up on it. You can actually get a minivan and some other stuff on the trailers, etc. So he went to the DMV with this, And they're like, okay, what are we taking? And he took him out to the van because, you know, you're supposed to take your own vehicle. And they did the test and the road test and everything. And they got inside and the guy said, so all you need to do is take the written test and you'll have your CDL also. Because it basically figured if Dad could handle what he was driving, he could handle a semi. Any size of semi. And Dad turned it down because all he needed was his regular driver's license. The 15-passenger van was just for immediate for family. It wasn't like he was doing any driving for profit or anything like that, to where or getting paid to drive, to where he actually needed a CDL for passengers. And the only transport he did was with the trailer and stuff, was picking up stuff for himself, so he didn't need his semi-license. My dad, I've seen him take those trailers and have like a ½ inch give or leeway, a fourth to a ½ inch, and still make it in and out without a problem. Because he's just so, I don't know if it's spatially aware. Got a semi on the other side of me. I don't know if he's just that spatially aware, or if it's just, I'm sure a big part of it is experience, but at the same time, Danny the other day, Saturday we went and got barrels to make into composting barrels, because I'd found some for $15. And Danny, because of the area they had the barrels in, Danny backed it up, and I couldn't have done it. And he said he struggled a bit more, he felt, than usually he would. But he said Dad's steering wheel in that vehicle is loose, and so that was part of the reason he struggled. So my dad, and literally when we went to pick up the vehicle, my dad had driven it to the dump and back, and the person he was going to meet at the dump wasn't there. No hesitation, nothing, just so used to his vehicle and everything that it didn't even dawn on him that his steering's loose. So, but I will say I was so grateful I had Danny with me when we picked up the barrels, because I could not have backed it out. I will be honest, I don't back very well anyway. I like to make sure I have plenty of room and back the minimum possible. Which is actually, you guys have heard us teasing Brett about Mindy likes him to pull through. Well, when she's with me, 95% of the time she doesn't have to ask. Because if I can pull through, I'm going to pull through. Because it's easier to pull through most of the time than to back, in my mind. So, but yeah, there's my dad's DMV story. obey the DMVs. I will say he's in his 60s now. And from what I understand, they haven't had him retake his test. And I know that there is a certain age that they start looking at it and debating. But if you looked at my dad also, if you were just going by looking at pictures, you would never guess. I don't know if you've been in Horlockers, Jen, and seen my dad, but for Steph's sake and whatever. Actually, you can kind of see it still in some of the YouTube videos. If you look up Horlockers Fine Meats, they're on the Valley channel, is the YouTube channel, I believe. My dad looks very much now like he did then, just his bald spot has got a little bit bigger. Not a lot, but a little bit. But he's still able to do a comb over on his bald spot. He just does not look like he's in his 60s. So if they're going by pictures, they'd never pick my dad out as a year over 60. You just wouldn't, not with the way my dad looks. Growing up, he was always mistaked as my older brother. Even once I had kids that were like 10, I was mistaked as being 20 and my dad as 30. So they thought that when my dad and I and my brother, or not my brother, my son would all go out together, they literally thought we just had a wider age span. But Stephen would actually looked older. So he looked like he was, when he was 10, he looked like he was 15 or so, a lot of people said. Just a short 15-year-old. So they thought that we had the very oldest of a big age range family and the very youngest, and then one in the middle. So that was kind of interesting. The number of times and Steven said he's getting the same thing now with me. I actually think his mission president's wife once asked why he brought in one sister and not the other sister. Or the other sister didn't come up to the door, and he's like, "That's not my sister, that's my mom!" So, but I know he said more than once I've been mistaked as his older sister. So, it's actually kind of funny. And then people wonder why I don't wear makeup. If they can even tell I don't put makeup on, which most of the time they can't. So, okay, let's see. Yeah, I agree on drink them, Mindy. Looks like my phone's getting hot, so it may turn it off, but we're here, so I'm going to see if that's not what I want. Oh, I know where I can go. This one's even newer. So this it was taken, what, 2-3 years ago? My dad's the one on the right. My mom's the one with the green shirt and the white hair. That's my brother's family, but here's a better picture. So this is my baby brother, my mom and my dad. And that one's me and all my siblings and my parents. See, we don't have that, I will say, we don't have that age gap at all. We have, what? He was 7, turning 8. He was turning 8 when Stephen was born. So, how old was I? I was 21, 20. Maybe we do. He was 12. No, we don't have that big. He was 12. My baby brother was 12 or 13. Or I was 12 or 13 when he was born. At 14, when I was 14, Mom had a miscarriage. But other than that, that was the last. So... But it's always funny when you go together as a family and they're like, they think that you've got a whole bunch, or that Mom isn't there when it's actually Grandpa, Mom, and son. So, I'm going to let you guys go in just a minute. I'm taking stuff in, so and figuring out who grabbed the box. Oh, good. I hadn't seen who grabbed it, but I sat on the step and then not on the step. So I'll be right back. Anyway, so I'm gonna let you guys go. We will talk to you later. Bye.